Wilds 105.7 and 96.7. It's Atlanta's party station. Checka Cee here with a special guest. Very, very special. How are you? It's Pattie, Justin Biebers' mom.
Hi, how are you?
I know you probably are like sick of hearing that, kind of, or no?
Nah, I think all parents are known by their kids.
Exactly.
You know, so-and-so's mom.
Right. Go to the soccer game, go to wherever you're going, and it's like, oh, that's so-and-so's
Right.
mom.
Yes.
So it's totally normal. But, okay, so you have a book out, and this is part of your success and your avenue. So tell us about it. It's called Nowhere But Up. And
yeah, it's the story of my life. You know, I went through a really tough time as a child, and I just kind of share some of my struggles. And you know, a lot of people don't know that I lived in a pregnancy home when I was pregnant with Justin, and you know, struggled with him, and just sort of our story, and just you know, sharing what I went through in hopes to help other people through.
Absolutely, absolutely. So who knew that like a celebrity's mom goes through some sort of, you know, I mean, like real in-depth, you know, I know you talk about sexual abuse. I know you cover, you know, being under government funding and all of that. You know, people just think that, oh, this is a celebrity and it just evolved overnight, and who knew, right?
Right.
But here are all these things that you touch on in the book, and you want to touch others' lives.
Yes.
So, so, I mean, I don't, without being too in your business, but I mean, we do want to know what's in the book.
Right.
So, explain some of the things that you went through as a child that you think maybe affect you as an adult.
Well, you know, unfortunately, far too many children are sexually abused. And I sort of want to be the voice that, have a voice that I didn't have when I was younger, and help others find their voice.
Absolutely.
You know, there's so many people that it steals your purity, your innocence, the way you view the world.
Right.
You know, and I think it had a lot to do with the choices I made later on in life. You know, I was abandoned by my dad, and there was a lot of brokenness in our home, but ended up, you know, getting into drugs and alcohol.
Right, because you
abuse.
obviously, normally, people just, you know, attach to something that's going to be their medication, right?
Yeah,
and
so
that was your medication.
self-medicating type thing. Yeah, so, you know, that happened growing up, and I was not close with my parents. I really fought with my mom and my stepdad a lot, and, you know, as a teenager, just with the drugs and the alcohol, and everything came to a head until I was 17, and I tried to commit suicide.
Oh my God.
So I know there's, you know, teen suicide is a hot topic. Yeah, and I just know that a lot of young people struggle with that, and I just want to let people know that I can relate. And I've been in deep, dark depression and struggled with it for years, even after Justin was born. I talk about in the book how, you know, how I struggled through that, and how you know, what my journey was.
Now, when you say like you struggled as a mom, I think right away, oh my God, the dad wasn't there, and you know, this was a single mom, and it's been really hard. But in your case, was Justin's father in the picture?
Yeah, Justin's dad was in the picture. We split when Justin was a baby, but his dad has, you know, been in Justin's life. A lot of people think that his dad just came around when
he had success,
when he became famous.
Right.
But, you know, that's not true. Him and I talk about in the book as well. Like, I mean, we just had a really toxic relationship, and it was on again, off again type things. But, you know, we were kids, and just as I'm different today, he's also different. He's changed. And you
guys get along today,
and we
right?
do, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How does Justin feel about you guys getting along?
Oh, he loves it. So he doesn't have to feel awkward. We can do things together as a family. And
so cool.
Yeah.
You guys all go out together?
Yeah, we went to Disney like about a month ago. All together.
Really?
Yeah. His dad and his dad's kids. Yeah.
Okay, but you guys do have your own separate lives and like date your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, did you go on a date recently with The Bachelor? What's that about?
So funny. I was on air on Ryan Seacrest Radio.
Okay.
And Ryan put me on the spot, and, you know, he said, you know, I've been thinking about who to set you up with. I got to set you up with somebody. And then all of a sudden, he's like, I got somebody on the line for you. And he pushes the button. He says, Chris, man, are you there? And he says, Chris Harrison, have you ever met, Justin Bieber's mom, Pattie Mallette?
Oh my
I want to
God.
set you guys up on a date.
Were you like
type
so
thing.
embarrassed?
I was so embarrassed because I'm a huge fan of Bachelor, Bachelorette.
Yeah,
Like, seen
and
every
who doesn't
episode.
watch it?
But the funny thing is, I know Chris. We're friends.
Okay.
And so,
That's funny.
and so Chris said, Ryan, I've been talking to her all week. Like, we're friends,
Right.
And he's like, oh, okay. But he still was poking, so I see love in the air type thing.
Right.
And so I had already set Chris up for tickets for his daughter to come to the concert. And so
okay,
when
that's
I
nice.
saw Chris at the concert, he was like, we totally have to take a picture and tweet Ryan and let him know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look.
Let
What's
him
up?
just,
And then that's how that happened.
And so I sent a picture and I was like,
Okay.
Hi, Ryan, see Chris, yeah.
Oh.
Thanks.
But
thanks,
he's a
Chris Harrison.
cutie.
He is, yeah. He's a good looking
Is he
man.
like your type? Like,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, he's good looking.
Yeah, he's
guy.
definitely. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So maybe would there possibly something?
We're just friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
No.
Let's not
We're
go.
friends.
That's
We're
cool
friends.
though.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's good to have friends in the industry too. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure like being a mom, you're like, okay, who are these people? You're kind of around all these new faces, all these new celebrities. I mean, Usher is, your son's mentor. I know that was probably like, whoa, this is different.
Yeah.
So-
Well, at celebrities, it's so funny because people know this, but Justin jokes, we all put our pants on one leg at a time.
That's right.
And it's just human beings.
We're
related
human beings.
It's funny because we're being bombarded with people, and Chris was saying something about people not understanding personal space.
Oh my God. I could imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking earlier with your publicist about how you are on Twitter and you speak to a lot of young girls who call you mom.
Yeah.
And that's a little invasive maybe, or maybe not invasive, but that's a little...
No, I love it.
I can see that.
I love it.
But it must be so much pressure.
No, I
No?
don't. I have such a heart for them, and
Okay.
I really love them.
Okay.
So yeah, I love it.
Okay, so it's not like, oh my God, these girls are looking up to me and I totally gotta
No, and that's part of the reason why I wrote the book.
Yeah.
I wanted to share my story and help inspire them and give them hope through difficult stuff.
be. Right. And now what is your relationship like with Justin? Like him knowing all of this stuff about you that you went through as a mom? Like, how is your relationship?
It's good. He wrote the foreword to the book.
Oh,
And,
that's so nice.
mhm. And so he's heard here. I let him hear my story, hear me share my story for the first time when he was 12.
Wow.
And then
What
we
was
talked
his
about
reaction?
it. He had tears, and we had a dialogue going, and we talked about it. I think it's so important to just be honest and
With
talk
your children.
with your kids in appropriate age language,
Right.
But yeah, I think it was really helpful for us.
Because 12 is a good age. I mean, they kind of
Depending on the kid, every kid is different.
Yeah.
You got to gauge that. But Justin, I felt he was ready to hear it, and so now it's just a great opportunity that he has such an amazing platform, and he's just been so supportive to say, go, change the world, share your story. You're so
Really?
strong, Mom. Yeah, I believe in you. Yeah, it's just been great.
Very supportive.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so nice. What a blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a blessing that you have a son that's super successful, and then that you have an amazing relationship with him at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's
hear
good.
all these horror stories. Oh, I don't talk to my... Or, there's something going
Yeah,
on
well,
behind the scenes.
he's 18, and he's
Grown.
growing up and
Right.
wanting
You're
some
like, not
space.
grown yet, but...
Yeah, but yeah, we're close.
That's awesome. And you look like you're not even a mom. You are beautiful. You're
Oh,
like so young looking
thanks.
and like, oh my God.
Thank you.
I would never even guess if I saw you down the street. Seriously.
Thanks.
You're really young looking. What do you do to your skin? What do you do to keep young? Seriously. What are the...
I don't know. Facials, I guess. Wash my hands. No, I don't know. I got good genes. My mom looks young.
Really?
Yeah.
It just runs in the bloodline.
Yeah.
I guess because Justin kind of looks young too for being 18. He kind of looks like he could go a little younger. So it's in the genes.
Yeah.
Yay. So, any future projects coming up with the book? I mean, obviously the book is out now. This is a beautiful cover. I love it. I was just saying that you kind of look like Celine Dion.
So funny.
You do. Do you get that a lot or no?
No, I've never heard that before.
No? I don't know. I guess it's the picture. But, like, I don't really see it in person, maybe a little bit. But in this picture, I would say, yeah. Like, is that Celine Dion?
Aw,
Yeah.
thanks.
So, any future projects with the book? I know you did a book signing today.
Yep.
How did that go?
It went really well. We had a lot of people turn out, and it was nice. It was good.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, after this, there's a teen book coming out.
Really?
A teen version of the book.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is more like to the mom's perspective, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, teenagers and older teens can read it, but
Okay.
we're doing a teen version for some of the teenagers that
And
might be
what's that going to be? And what's going to be in there?
It's, you know, the same sort of thing, but it's going to be more age appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wording different.
Yeah.
Tell me about writing a book, though, actually. Like, you know, the physical. I know we talked a lot about the emotional kind of aspect of it, but, like, the physical, like getting the book together.
Yeah.
What's the process like?
It's
for anybody that may want to write a book?
It's a lot of work. Yeah, you gotta. I don't know. For me, I just knew what I wanted to say, and so it was just time to write it down. I think everybody's process is different. I'm sure everybody has different types of books they're writing, and yeah, for me, I just knew I wanted to share my story.
And so, I mean, obviously, if the story
long
is
hours,
real,
long
it's
days.
not, you know, I mean, you could sit there and say, but I'm sure you've got to revisit the situation.
Yeah, definitely. That was, you know, even furthering my healing process. It was really good for me to go back and dig deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and anything else coming up? Any events you may be attending or?
Well, through this, a portion of the proceeds of this book are going to go to my Nora Bedup Foundation, and that's just sort of being created now, and it's going to go towards helping single parent homes, you know, pregnancy centers, and counseling for people that can't afford to get through their own healing and things like that, addiction centers.
So you'll be donating the proceeds.
Yeah.
Wow, so amazing.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. I really
Thank you
appreciate
for
you taking
having me.
the time. I know it was so last minute. and
Yeah,
everything,
no, it's
but
good. Thank you.
It was cool. Thank you for being here.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.